But I want to talk to you about the Steelers. And man, what a confusing kind of mess that team is right now.
Yeah, it's been an interesting 18 months, really. Everybody knows the Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown situations. And it was a situation coming into this season where you felt like, was this going to be an addition by subtraction? Having those two guys out of the organization. Le'Veon Bell was not a disruptive guy. He just wasn't around, right? He didn't play last year. So they dealt with that. James Conner had a pretty productive season. And what they got out of their backs last year was roughly equivalent to what Le'Veon Bell had given them the year before as a group. And it cost them, $14 million less. So there was some hope here that, the distraction of Antonio Brown, who, by the way, just for the record books, Antonio Brown was never a bad guy in Pittsburgh until the very end. He was a knucklehead at times, but he was there on game day. He was an unbelievable performer. He worked hard. Yeah, he did some dumb things. But
now here's my question, David. Yeah. Here's my question. That's a really interesting statement, and that's what I've thought. But we've actually had some people on this show who have contradicted that. And they've said he's always been about. I mean, what are your thoughts? I'm not saying you're not right.
Yeah, no,
what I'm saying is, what are your thoughts about some of the media out there who doesn't believe that, and they're not shy in telling you that he was always a bad guy?
Well, look, I think there are two things in terms of what's a bad guy. There's the social aspect of being a bad guy, being a jackass, and then there's the are you criminal? Are you doing things that are really over the
serious stuff? Serious,
yeah, right. The things that we're talking about now. Obviously, when we get into situations about sexual assault or anything like that, that's a whole different world of things that we all know where that stuff lies. But when we're talking about stupid stuff in the locker room or coming to camp in a hot air balloon or something, types of things he did in Pittsburgh, that to me wasn't disruptive. He was late for meetings. He did things like that. He was Mike Tomlin gave him a wide berth, certainly wider than the fan base knew and people, suspected, and didn't punish him for his silly celebratory touchdown things that would get penalties. That to me doesn't necessarily make you a bad guy. It makes you a selfish guy for sure. And he was definitely about his money, no doubt. But he delivered every week on the field. And at the end of the day, that's what he was getting paid to do, and he did it. But walking out on the team in week 17 last year was massively disruptive, and then we saw that stuff spiral out of control. And I didn't, look, I'm pretty close to all of this. I didn't foresee this going off the rails like this. Now, some people suspected it, and a lot of people want to say, oh, the guy got hit in the head in Cincinnati as CTE. It's amazing how far off the rails it's got.